Ladies and gentlemen, I've just got done watching the second Sonic movie yesterday, and it was really good. Like, really awesome. It was a lot better than I could have personally expected if you guys watched my previous videos, and it got me thinking. This movie is a miracle, an absolute miracle, not just for Sonic, but for Sonic fans. And we'll get into all of that later on in the video, but for the first half of this video, I want it to contain zero spoilers, because I want to give my thoughts and reasonings as to why you should get up and go watch this movie. Because I really think that you're gonna have a blast in the theater watching this movie. And to kick things off, if you are a Sonic fan, you have got to watch this movie. Even if you didn't like the first movie, if you thought it was bad or just mediocre, you didn't like Sonic's character in that film, that's okay, because this film pretty much fixed a lot of the issues of the first movie. It looked like the director took all of the criticism of that movie and made it better in the second movie. Quite honestly, I was very surprised at how much the filmmakers actually listened to Sonic fans. Like, I expected them to only listen to critics and make another average film, but no. They didn't listen to critics this time around. They listened to the Sonic fan base, which is very wild, because Sega hasn't even listened to the Sonic fan base for like, how many years now? We still have not gotten a good 3D game since Sonic Generations. It's been that long. But Paramount is here, and they listened to the fans, and they actually gave us what we want. They really transformed this film into a Sonic film. Which I never really understood what people meant by that before the movie released, but now that I'm seeing it, oh yeah, I definitely know what they mean now. This is a Sonic film front to back. And if you are a Sonic fan, you're gonna love this movie because you get to see a lot of Tails, a lot of Knuckles, and a lot of clashes between these characters. And to my surprise, all of the conflicts in this movie are handled very well. The motivations of each character all make sense, and it doesn't feel like Sonic is fighting Knuckles just so they can put in the advertising. Their rivalry is authentic and easy to comprehend. Now yes, there is still the family film BS that you will find in every kid's film, but I was able to look past that for the most part. Now, the main reason why I'm telling you to go watch this is because the story, while not being perfect, understands what a Sonic story should be. It's ambitious, characters have arcs, there's battles, built up in memorable moments. It has it all. I haven't seen a Sonic story like this since like what, Black Knight? It's been that long? Black Knight. Yeah. Point made. It's been a while. But I think it's very important for Sonic fans to see this because this movie is why Sonic stories matter. We have a new generation of Sonic fans who probably don't care that much about the story. I mean, to them, it's probably just context to the levels that they're playing in. But an ambitious story like this reminds me of what it was like playing through the adventure games or Sonic Unleashed for the first time. Being able to see those cutscenes after hours of gameplay was an amazing payoff for playing the game. Seeing Sonic and Chip's relationship build and come to the climax at the end of Sonic Unleashed was an unforgettable experience that we don't really get in Sonic games anymore. And I'm telling you, bro, if you like ambitious Sonic stories, go watch this movie. It's a miracle. We have gotten a good Sonic story for once. I think you guys really need it. You guys need to know what it's like to experience an ambitious Sonic story firsthand. But with that said, I am about to get into spoilers right now. So if you haven't seen this film, I'm going to give you 3 seconds to click off now, which I recommend you do because I want the surprises of this film to surprise you as much as they surprised me. Alright, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so Shadow the Hedgehog is in the movie. Am I right, guys? Okay, sorry, I just wanted to open up the spoilers section like that. I thought it'd be funny and quirky, but I'm not really funny and quirky. I'm sorry, guys, I do apologize. But yeah, the movie was great. I would give it about a 7 out of 10, pretty decent. Far from perfect, far from my favorite, but I did say on Twitter, it was a 7 out of 10 film that felt like a 9 out of 10 film for Sonic fans. And that's because the highs of this movie is just way too good to let the lows bother you. And I've been seeing a lot of people blatantly call this movie bad but enjoyable, and I kinda disagree with that concept. If the movie offers enough highs to make people enjoy it despite the lows, I consider that a well-made movie. I know that some people may disagree with that, but that's the philosophy that I have for every form of media. The entire objective of creating something is to please as many people as possible. So if that succeeds, I say it succeeds. But for me, it was a lot better than I could have ever expected, and I wasn't expecting that much, as I've previously stated in other videos. So really, I didn't care about this film before I saw it. And to be quite honest, I am still way more hyped for the games releasing this year than this movie, but I think this movie has finally gotten me on board with movie Sonic. I think I'm starting to understand why so many of you love movie Sonic, and I still don't like it more than modern Sonic, but I enjoy it now. I enjoy this interpretation of Sonic. And sure, this was not the dialogue-heavy movie that I wanted, but whatever dialogue we did get in this movie was actually really good. And of course, there was some admittedly glaring flaws, like how the wedding scene was almost pointless. Like, they hyped up that entire sequence of events just to tell us that Gun exists in the Sonic movie universe. That was completely unnecessary. They could have shown us that Gun was here in another way. They didn't have to drag out that scene for so long. But it is what it is. That was probably my least favorite part about the movie, was that wedding scene where Sonic got captured. That whole thing just dragged on for far too long. And then there was the dance scene in the snowy cabin that also kind of dragged out, but I'll give it a pass because it was charming. You had some moments there for Sonic and Tails to bond, and I thought that was really cool. And guys, I think Tails was actually my favorite character right behind Dr. Robotnik himself. Colleen absolutely killed it here, and I truly think that she is an amazing actor, and hopefully this movie opens up her opportunities to getting roles in other movies, because she's here doing a bang-up job alongside A-list actors. Tails was definitely the most likable Sonic character in my opinion. I just love seeing him on screen. I mean, Tails' character was smart, loyal, and he even had a better character improvement arc than the one he had in Sonic Adventure. Which, as you guys know, I love Sonic Adventure, so seeing that adapted in the movie universe was just amazing. I mean, they really went out there and made a better Tails arc than the one in Sonic Adventure. That, I can't get over that. And I have been seeing that some people say that Tails gets ignored for Knuckles, which I don't really see that. Tails' arc with Sonic was fully developed before they started fully focusing on Knuckles, and both characters helped to reinforce the main ideas of the film, so I don't really see a problem with it. And Tails was always important. I never felt like he was being shifted to the side. And I just gotta say, this movie's entire message is kinda brilliant, especially for a family film. I mean, it's your typical cheesy, like, lesson of the day stuff you would find in a family film, but they kinda explained it a lot better than most family films. Because this entire movie's message is about what it means to be a role model or a leader. Being a leader is important because it affects people in your life and in some cases can make the world a better place. So it's important to make the right decisions so that the impact that you leave around you and your friends is overall positive. We can see this when Tom passes on the knowledge of being a responsible leader to Sonic in the boat at the beginning of the movie. Tom's leadership is making an impact on Sonic and his leadership. And this film is just a giant showcase of how a leader can and should empower others. With Tails, Sonic encourages him to face his fears and have a bit more confidence knowing that he has a friend by his side. That's showing how an act of kindness can really impact someone who is alone and unconfident like Tails. Then you have Knuckles, which shows how a leader can correct the wrongs of the past. Knuckles has tried to kill Sonic on multiple occasions, but when Knuckles was about to die, Sonic's empathy and leadership kicked in, causing him to save Knuckles from drowning. And then Sonic, unlike Robotnik, who is a faulty leader, established a genuine relationship with Knuckles, repairing the betrayal that Knuckles was faced with. And then you have my personal favorite act of leadership, which was at the end of the movie, and it's the fate of the Master Emerald. The Master Emerald in this movie contains strong power that all leaders before have abused for violence. However, instead of Sonic repeating the cycle like the leaders did before, he decided to break the cycle and end the corruption for the greater good by promising to never use the Master Emerald for evil. And that is like the coolest message that I've seen from like a kid's film, because that's like some stuff you would see in a very dialogue heavy film. The ideals of what it means to be a leader with ultimate power and how we should never abuse that. Like that's some good stuff. That's like some medieval time story that I'd watch in the movies. And this is in a Sonic film. And this entire message is kind of cheesy. I mean, it's literally about leadership in a kid's film, but I like how they didn't shy away from it. They were willing to tell the story that echidnas and owls went to war and they all killed each other into extinction, all for the Master Emerald. I like that. They didn't shy away from it. And I feel that the message about leadership and utilizing power for good was actually fully developed here, because usually when I see films like this, they kind of understate it. Like, they're not really focused on telling a message with their film, they're more focused on just entertaining the children, which, I mean, more power to them. But I like that the writers put this much care into the movie to make it actually good. And you know what makes this movie just like grind my gears? It's that this is my dream plot for Sonic Forces. Now hear me out. I would have loved to see Sonic Forces have a Sonic that was focused on leadership. What if everyone in Sonic Forces was feeling defeated and depressed except for Sonic? What if Sonic was the only upbeat and confident character in that game? He would have to bring every other character's morality up so they could win the war. That's a story that I wanted to be told, and they tried to tell it with the rookie, but it was so understated that the story just ended up becoming disappointing, man. Like, come on, how do you mess up a story like Sonic Forces, dude? You had all the pieces right there. Whatever, I mean, this movie did it right, though. This movie handled Sonic and leadership correctly. And I have always wanted a Sonic story where the leadership that Sonic has was the main purpose of the story, because there's a lot you can tell with that, with Sonic being the main character, but they just never told anything about that. And maybe I shouldn't be going this deep into the message of a Sonic movie, but I just found it cool that the writers didn't phone this one in. They genuinely cared about what they were writing and didn't just make another Alvin Chipmunks-esque movie that nobody cares about. They brought us something amazing. And I still haven't even mentioned all of the other amazing parts of this film, like how Supersonic was absolutely amazing and how Jim Carrey, once again, was fantastic as Robotnik. Everything just worked in this movie. And of course, we had the reveal of Shadow the Hedgehog. In my theater, all I heard were kids screaming Shadow at the top of their lungs. Like, I don't know how to explain this to you guys, but that makes me hopeful for the future of Sonic. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, I didn't think the youth really even cared about Shadow the Hedgehog, because the games where he was a likable character was all the way back in like Sonic 06 and Sonic Adventure 2, which was like the early 2000s. They weren't even alive to experience Shadow as a character, so I just thought they didn't even care about the character. I thought that Sonic's history was just fading into obscurity, but I'm apparently wrong. The youth knows these things. And when the youth screamed Shadow's name because they knew how legendary his character was, it really warmed my heart, because it's like, wow, these guys know that Shadow was an important character in the past and that he wasn't always an edgy laughingstock. And you know, there was this one kid who was like really young. He was sitting behind me, and for the entire movie, he was just explaining the entirety of all Sonic lore to his mother. And normally that would be annoying, but as a Sonic fan, I found it charming. I mean, that kid was telling her everything from Shadow to Chaos to the Echidnas. That kid knew more about Sonic lore than me. Like, I was genuinely surprised. And it kind of got me thinking. It appears that new fans actually do care about Sonic's history, which makes me more upset that Sega isn't porting their games. Port them. If you got kids screaming Shadow the Hedgehog, why aren't you porting Sonic Adventure 2 to Switch? But yeah, seeing Shadow get the respect that he hasn't gotten in so long was one of my favorite moments in the theater. And it was an awesome experience. I recommend you all go see this movie. Anyways, that's all I got for today. I will make a wishes video for Sonic 3 here soon, so stay tuned for that. And with that said, great movie, 7 out of 10. That feels like a 9 out of 10 for a Sonic fan, and I was personally happy with my experience. Good job, Paramount. With that said, like, comment, favorite, subscribe. I love you guys. Adios. My channel members are Epic Gaming with George, Speeder Light, Sonic Man 715, Snicks, Storm, Archer XYZ, JNXV, Rocco MK, Sonic Hub, Thomas One Rye, Chip Chop Chop, Scape, Sonic Pip, The Squeaker Nerd, Super Shax Boom, Sonic Extreme, and Super Saiyan Sonic. Thank you guys so much for supporting the channel. You guys went out of your way to help me. Thank you guys so much. Yeah, that movie was awesome. And I will admit, I was wrong in thinking this movie didn't really matter or that as much. So yeah, it was awesome. Go watch it, guys. This was a fun video to make. I'm actually happy about Sonic for once. So yeah, there is that. Can't wait for Frontiers and Origins. Love you guys. Adios.